One of the best ways to find the perfect campsite is just to get out and scout for them, and that's my mission today. I'm starting off in the desert, and I'll be working my way up the east side of the San Bernardino Forest along Burns Canyon. And my plan is to record as many campsites as possible and find the perfect one to stay at tonight, cook up a little dinner, and enjoy the solitude of being off the grid. Today, I'm climbing up the Burns Canyon Trail that begins in the lush desert floor just outside of Pioneertown, California, and winds its way through the canyon and up into the mountains. I've traveled this trail many times over the years, and it's a great way to access a massive network of desert and mountain trails in the region. This trail is just under 20 miles long and will take you around 3 to 4 hours. But there are several trails that branch off from Burns Canyon, so you can really spend days along this route if you want. The terrain is rough, and today was the roughest I've seen it. Some of you out there might recognize this spot. This is where I ended the Rattlesnake Adventure Trail. And I told you once we got here that I had to head home, but I wanted to bring you back and take you all the way up the mountain. I'm gonna leave these beautiful Joshua trees behind and head for the pine trees. And what I love about this trail is it's a great hub to have other adventures. It crosses through so many different trails. You can spend a day out here, you can spend a weekend, or you can have an entire overland adventure for multiple days out here. And the good news is there are lots of camp spots, many that I haven't stayed at yet. And so that's what I wanted to do today is go find a couple of those other little hidden gems out here that I haven't paid attention to yet. See if we can find a good camp spot, spend the night. And while Regina couldn't join me on this trip because she had some adult responsibilities to take care of, she did give me a recipe, and I'm going to cook up one of her meals at camp tonight. We'll see how this goes. It's gonna be a good day. Behind the Jeep Wrangler today, I've got my Patriot Campers X3 trailer in tow. And what I like about having it on a trip like this is 1, it was already packed and ready to go. 2, it's perfect for this type of terrain. It's just gonna soak up these rough roads. And 3, one of my favorite things about this trailer is it's the same width as a Jeep. So I know if I find myself in a narrow section in between some rocks or trees, that if the Jeep can squeeze through, the trailer shouldn't have any issues at all. Those will come into play later on today. All right, we're just gonna turn off onto this little bluff out here and have some lunch. But if you go down that way, that is towards Heartbreak Ridge, which is a fun, moderate trail. And we're gonna go back there again soon. I haven't been up there in a while, but right now, I'm gonna enjoy some of this beautiful scenery and have a little lunch. Get off my sandwich. Come on, get off of there. Holy cow. How I didn't just get stung a dozen times, I have no idea. There are 30 or 40 yellow jackets all over the place, and they want any little bit of moisture they can get, including the juice from my ham sandwich. There were about 10 of them just swarming on here. It took me forever to get them off the sandwich. So I won't be camping here. Not that I had planned camping here, but this is a good spot. It's wide open. If you have a group of people, it's got nice views. The problem is there's no shade and there's no protection from the wind, and it is a little windy today. My plan is to continue further up the trail. There's some spots that I was kind of scouting out on the map that one, I know they're going to have shade. Two, they're going to be a little higher elevation. And three, let's hope they don't have any bees. Trail up here that I have driven past many times, and I still haven't been down it. And one of these days I want to know what's down that trail. It's got a black diamond on there, and I don't think it's going to be something I'm going to do today, but I would love to go check it out one of these days. Maybe bring the JK and go have some fun with a couple buddies. Here's something that some folks may not know. So we are on Burns Canyon, which is 2N02. This trail is 2N70Y, so it's got an extra letter on it. Some will have extra numbers, some extra letters, but the longer the forest road numbers and letters, the harder or less maintained that trail usually is. So this one has an extra letter, which means it's harder than the one we're on today. So we'll save that for another day. All right, we got a little bit of a tight squeeze through here. It looks like a couple boulders have fallen down over the years. Just taking our time, no problem. The great thing is that this trailer is the same width as the Wrangler. So I know if I can get the Wrangler through it, I can probably have no problems just like that getting the trailer through it. There we go, easy dip. right, we've been climbing for about 2 miles and just about 6,500 feet in elevation. We should be getting pretty close to where it starts to level out, and then there are several campsites to start looking at and choosing from. So looking forward to seeing what we find, guys. But I will say this trail, again, I think I've said this the last several times, but it's definitely rougher and has been more eroded away than the last time I was here. Usually this is a little smoother, but it's okay, it's fine, it's fun, but not what I remember, that's for sure. All right, I've pulled over for just a moment because right here is a little offshoot, and just down a little ways on the map, it splits off, and then those little trail splits terminate. And I believe that those are potential campsites at the end. Now, I could either walk it, or I could be resourceful and I could throw the drone up and see what it looks like. The last thing I want to do is kind of climb up there and then find that it's going to be hard to turn around. I do have a trailer, so it's something I have to keep in mind. So I'm going to throw the drone up and see what we see. All right, so following the road down, and to the right, it looks like you just can't turn around up there. It looks like it just kind of goes up and back. And so with a trailer, it's something I have to be concerned about. I've got to be able to at least turn around, or a short little back out if I need to. The other spot goes down a little bit further. It looks like there might be 2 different spots there. It's not really what I'm looking for, though. It's still pretty tight. And plus, I know that there's several spots down this way, so I think we're going to keep on trucking. It's still early in the day, guys. Hey, I'm not using the audio most of the time. Safe travels to you guys. Have a good time. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's nice to meet you. Definitely. Likewise. Have a good time. Yeah, you guys find a good camp spot. There's a lot of good camp spots up and down here. Just chatting it up with those guys. A great group, man. They're gonna have a blast out there on Heartbreak Ridge, and then they're looking for a good camp spot out here. So I gave them a little bit of intel on some places to look at. But there's plenty of yellow posts, and I think that's probably what they're planning on doing tonight. Okay, this might have been a bust for tonight, but I'm not worried. There are lots of camp spots up here. In fact, there's just one right here on the side of the trail. You can camp right off the trail. You just need to be very careful, though. The idea here, guys, is you don't want to create a new campsite. You want to use one that's an existing site, and this one is that's pretty nice, but not what I'm looking for. All right, just stop for a second. Here is another campsite, and this one's kind of got a little loop, and it's got a nice flat area. And this would work if you had maybe 3, maybe 4 vehicles. You could probably fit another one over there. You've got a beautiful view up here, but once again, no protection from the wind and no shade. This would do in a pinch if you just needed a spot to stay, but this is not what we're looking for. I did use the drone a few more times in my scouting of campsites today, and I found several that would be great spots, but I'm being really picky today because I can. The good news is that my options for where to camp in the future is growing because I recorded lots of new sites today. But just down the trail further a bit, and we should start climbing even higher in elevation, which is what I'm really looking forward to. Came to a little bit of a split on the trail. To the right was 3N03, and that takes you out to Cactus Flats. It's a fun little trail. It's a moderate trail, so it's a little more technical, but that's towards an OHV area. So you're probably gonna run into a lot of side-by-sides, motorcycles, ATVs out there. We're staying on 2N02, which is not an OHV area. Plus, this is gonna take us much higher in elevation. In fact, we're already starting to see more and more thick pine trees. And I've already marked a ton of camp spots for potential future use, but I still haven't found the perfect one I'm looking for. We're gonna keep looking. I wanna get a little higher in elevation, a little more thicker pine trees before we settle down, but we still got a little bit of time to kind of keep exploring, which is good. Right off the trail, and here is another nice spot. This one's flat. You can get at least 3, maybe 4 vehicles in here. It'd be tight, but it's got a little bit of shade, and there's even a fire ring over there. The only problem is it's right off the trail, and I'd like something a little more off the beaten path. So we're gonna keep looking, but it's a nice spot. I'm gonna mark it. This spot right here is easily the find of the day. This is awesome. I'm having fun looking for campsites. I haven't done this in a while, but this one is wide open, it's flat. Could probably fit 6, maybe 8 vehicles here. We've got some shade, we've got beautiful views. It's off the trail a little bit, not as much as I'd like, but it would work. But if I'm planning a route with a big group, this is perfect. And so I'm definitely going to mark this one for future potential camp spot. But it's not what I'm looking for today, so keep on looking. All right, guys, I got camp all set up, and what a beautiful spot. So quiet out here. The only thing I think it could make it better is if there was like a stream running through or something, but otherwise, it's gorgeous out here. It is supposed to get pretty chilly tonight, so I don't think I'll be wearing shorts and t-shirt very much longer. But I said I was going to make dinner. Regina wanted to make some mini chicken pot pies, and so because I'm by myself, she couldn't make it. I'm going to make those in tribute to her, I guess, is the plan. And so I'm going to use the Omnia, which is a really cool piece of gear. This is like having a oven that you can put on top of your stove. So she bakes in this thing all the time. And we have these over at TrailRecon.com. So if you want to pick one of these up, if you see how well I do cooking dinner, hopefully I do well cooking dinner, you can head over to TrailRecon.com and pick yourself up an Omnia. All right. This looks pretty simple. We'll see how this goes. Look at that. I feel like I can just eat these with my fingers. Fork. That turned out pretty good. Heck yeah. Huge thanks to Regina for giving me the recipe. And you know, even though I got the wrong biscuits, I got the honey butter biscuits, it's a little sweet and savory at the same time. It's pretty good. I think I'm gonna devour all these. Boy, that sun went down behind the mountains and it got chilly quick. I got my sweatshirt on, but I'm probably gonna be putting on a jacket here real quick. So I wasn't able to do it. I could only eat 3 of them. Those were pretty filling, but I surprised myself. That was a pretty good meal that I made. Of course, I could not have done it without Regina's help. And you know, that's the thing. Today was incredible. I had such a blast up here today. Finding this camp spot is awesome, but the only thing that would have made it better is if she could have joined me. But sometimes life responsibilities get in the way, and that's just how it is. I still had a good day up here, but it would have been better with her. For me, tomorrow, I've got some pretty big adult responsibilities, so I'm gonna have to get up well before the sun comes up in the morning. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up here, and I'm gonna call it an early night, and I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed coming along with me up here in Birds Canyon, checking out all these cool campsites. If you are in this area, you definitely need to come visit this place. Please subscribe if you're visiting the channel for the first time, and until next time, safe travels.